Shalom. This is Sincere Milk Lions Den. My name is Yahweh Sap. I camp out with Lions Den, Yashawada, in Jacksonville, Florida. First, I'd like to say a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akim, and to the women and children. Kau Harayam La Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Ha Rodash Kodash Mak. All praise to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit and holy and truth. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to my elder, Awan. Salutations to the Akim, to all the four corners of the earth. In sincerity and truth. And to the women's children, Shalom. Well, hopefully this will be another edifying lesson. It's going to be called, the title, I Am the True Vein. It's a real interesting one. Then again, the whole scripture is interesting, you know. The more I keep studying and learning, how it becomes alive, okay? It's almost like when you turn on the TV, where the TV is blank, but then when you turn on that tube, that button, a picture frame comes out and there's a movie. Well, same thing with the scripture, when you open the book and you start reading and studying it and praying and fasting and doing your precepts, all of a sudden it's a play, okay? He's the author, Yahweh Shai is the author, okay? And they control everything. A lot of you so-called Negros, Latinos, Native Americans, and speckled birds have a strong belief that you are in charge, and that you control your destiny. I'm going to go to John 15, chapter 1, verse 5. I am the true vein, and my Father is the vein dresser. Just letting you know. Verse 5. I am the vein, you are the branches. He who abides in me, and I in him, bear much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. Right? I mean, if somebody doesn't know how to, what they call those people, those technicians, computer programmers, right? Computer won't be able to do anything. But now that they came up, Yahweh and Yahweh Shai gave them the understanding and knowledge to the Edomites how to do an AI. That they say now the AI will be able to not only learn, but reprogram it itself. That's the catch right there. See, when they say reprogram itself, the question arises, who programmed it first? It was a person called who believes in self, doesn't believe in Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. If he believes only in himself, he believes in who? In Satan, right? But even Satan does not control himself. He has to obey what Yahweh and Yahweh Shai tells him to do. That's another lesson for another time. On John 15, verse 2 and 3. And these are in red letters, by the way. Yahweh Shai speaking to us and to you. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away. And every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. Wow. Verse 3. You are already clean because of the word which I have spoken to you. Alright? He's making it clear that, if you are receiving the truth, if you can accept the truth, so you can grow in the truth, you are getting clean. Alright? That's very important. Verse, John 13, verse 10. Chapter 13, verse 10. Yahweh Shai said to him, he who is bathed needs only to wash his feet, but is completely clean, and you are clean, but not all of you. And that is true. 2/3 of you are not clean, don't want to be clean, can't be clean. Because Yahweh Shai, through Yahweh, said, hey, those 2/3, put them over there. I got something for them, okay? You done too many things. You love this world, okay? You love the Edomite. You want to be like the Edomites, okay? You turn against your brothers and your sisters, and you think that Yahweh and Yahweh doesn't see these things, and you think there's no consequences, okay? John 17:17. Oh, but there's consequences, all right, and they're not pretty. Verse 17, sanctify them by your truth. Your word is truth. Yeah, Yahweh's word is truth, which he passed it to his son Yahweh Shai, who is King of Kings and Lords of Lords, right? But you have been programmed, convinced, you got enmity in your heart, right? You hate truth. That no, you're into self, All right. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26. Chapter 5. Verse 26 says that he might sanctify and cleanse her with the washing of water by the word. And that's very important, okay? You got to hear the word first to be clean, right? To be washed. There's no other way, okay? If you don't, what happened here? Slack. If you don't agree with that or accept that, then you can't receive the Spirit. It doesn't work the way you want it, right? You don't control Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Impossible. You can think you do, but I see you just lying to yourself. I'm moving to John chapter 3, verse 5. Back to John. Give me a minute. I'll do it like this quicker. 3, verse 5. Yahweh Shai answered, most assuredly I say to you, unless one is born of water and spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of Yahweh. Okay? And we're not talking about being born from your mom's womb, the water. It's talking about water, the word. If you cannot not only hear the truth, but practice it and do the work, you're not lying to nobody. You're not kidding nobody either. That was verse 5, yeah. Now go to John chapter 7, verse 38. Daisy 38. Verse 38 is in red letters. He who believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water. Heart, the mind. It's not the one in here with emotions and feelings. I mean, you Jake Women's should by now realize that those feelings that was given to you is so you can express them when you're in bed, right? Not to be using it to guide you with everything that you do in life. John 15, verse 4. In red letters also. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. It doesn't say anything here about abide of yourself. Be self-centered, right? Be it's all you. It doesn't say that. I don't find that nowhere here, right? I mean, when you go to a job, do you tell the job, yeah, I want to work here and I want to do whatever I want? Because I abide myself? See how crazy that is? Going to John 17, verse 23. 23, red letters. I in them and you in me, that they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that you have sent me and have loved them as you have loved me. Yeah. Now when people hear, especially Christians, right, you Jakes, hear that word love, you right away run wild with that and make your own idea what love is. And love really is to obey the commandments to the best of your ability, right? Love thy neighbor doesn't mean love anyone that lives next to you. Your neighbor is your brothers and sisters who are Israelites, not the Edomites. Okay? Moving to John 3, verse 16. Verse 16, in red letters. For Yahweh so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. He's making it clear what life is, how you can obtain it, right? You got to do, work. Faith without work is dead, right? It's like being married, but you just say, I love you, there's no action behind it. Ephesians 3:17. Yeah, you're going to find out how ugly this world is going to get. A second shutdown, for some reason you think that everything is back to normal, and it's not. It just looks like that, but it's not. You still see people with masks on. Verse 17. Okay. That Yahushua may dwell in your heart through faith, that you being rooted and grounded in love, in the commandments, in truth, in obedience, in fear and trembling, right? In works. I'm going to leave it with John 15, verse 6, in red letters. John 15, verse 16. Slakia, verse 6. Verse 6. Not 16. Here we go. Okay, still red letters though. If anyone does not abide in me, he is cast out as a branch, and withdraw, and they gather them and throw them into the fire, and they are burned. I gotta mark this here because this is serious stuff, man. This is serious. He is letting you know that if you don't turn back, that's the solution, that's the remedy of your 2/3, what you're going to really get. He's going to put you to get burned with fire. You, your children, your babies, your husband, your wives, your friends, mother or father. Okay? But when you hear this, okay, something else is going to happen to you before this happens. Okay? See, we know through Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, through Scripture, that some of us are going to be, beaten to death, starved to death. Some of us are going to get our heads chopped off. Okay? But through Scripture, that's only given them Yahweh and Yahweh Shai only gives them authority to do that in 10 days. Yours is not going to be 10 days. What's coming to you before you get burned by the missiles or the chariots with the laser beam, right? Is hunger, right? Starvation, rape, to men and women and children, right? Cannabis, you're going to be eating one another, right? A lot of killing, a lot of torturing, a lot of murders. you won't be able even to sleep in peace. And let's say that you make it through all that. Well, then now comes the missiles that are all over the world ending over here by the hand of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, right? Russia already getting ready, or already, right? And then the chariots, when they come in, they're going to be burning people too. So I hope it was edifying. And I forgot to show you again the book of Puerto Rican, war in America, mass murdering that went on in 1950 to this day, right? People coming out of the church, how they send a Edomite from here to Puerto Rico to train the police officers with machine guns, military tactic, right, to murder people. And of course a private investigator, okay, graduated in Harvard, independent investigator internationally, documents on proof how they've been spraying viruses to get everybody sick. They've been scratching their head. Well, we're getting everybody sick. How come everybody is not being sick, right? And now with the nanochips. Well, I'm going to leave it with that. I'll say shalom.